Oh my god, okay. How's it going, chat? Welcome in. How are we doing? What is happening to this computer, by the way? 7 days. I might need another new computer. WhatsApp. Not a lot, Ultra. How's it going for you? Anyway, typical. How's it going? River, how's it going? Glad I can be of assistance. Helping you on your boredom, I suppose. Let's jump into the game quickly. Check on my hair short. It's been short for a couple weeks now. It's still long on top. Not as long as it used to be now. Flu, how's it going? And action. To be fair, I've not been in the stream for an amount of time, so a bit of a surprise for me. Fair enough. Fair enough. Alright. Okay, now, wait, why can't I do that? Okay, no, we're good, we're good. You haven't turned into the streams for the last few? Oh, that's fair. People can't always be in the streams. That's a bit of an effort. Even I can't be in every stream. The first reality is that. Wait, what? What? Yeah, I'm a busy woman. I've got things to do. Fair enough. Oh my god, I'm already dead! Didn't even hit a shot. I'm like one of the first people to die in the lobby. What is going on? Dominic, how's it going? My hair's very long at the moment. Fair enough. Needs a trim. Yeah, might need to just restyle it a bit. That's crazy. An easy win on your first game of the stream. Yeah. Dominic, I hope you're well. Yeah, let's win again, I suppose. In law, if two realities frequencies suddenly match, the realities merge together. Or how does that work? Well, you're talking theoretical law, so and theoretical theory science. I guess so. Guess they would just explode, maybe. Yeah, I just saw a fullback superhero skin lock in. Where? If it's that, that's clearly not. Got blue shoes on, bro. Do you not see the feats? Do you think by the end of the chapter, Dark Voyager will absorb the entire entity of the 0-point power and become Voyager Ultimate? What? What in the Dragon Ball Z is going on there? What? Where's that even came from? What if his cube head was replaced by a mini 0-point? Have you had a lot of milk before the stream started or something? Because it's saying that, don't they? If you drink loads of milk before you go to bed, you like have really vivid dreams. Just wondering if that's what you've been doing as of late. It's so late. Like what? I mean, actually, you know what? Could happen. I mean, Galactus tried to... But I'm not sure if it would change his, like... physiology, or whatever you call it. That would be quite a big arse, no? I mean, we already do have a personification of the 0 point in 0. 6, 7. We already have that. How's it going? It's going alright. It's going fine. I wonder if someone is already entitled to the 0 point power, would the 0 point like mind control them, or would they maintain their anomaly? There's no way you maintain your anomaly. Actually, there might be a bit of a talking point with that, since some concept art got revealed, but it just seemed like the most AI written thing ever, but I don't know. Hello? What the hell am I hearing? Is that not what I said? How small is chat? You misread half the messages. Because I'm in the middle of the game. I can't do everything, bro. Sorry, who's reading every single word? Left a like on the video. Thank you very much. Appreciated. By the way, if I seemingly got angry in any previous message, it was a joke, by the way. I'm not actually mad. I'm just having fun. What on earth is happening there? Ugh. My bad, bro. My bad. Chat, thanks for 6 likes. How's your day going? Pretty well. It's been alright. It's been alright. A little ill this morning, but no, I'm alright now. Joe, I put more evidence for the Funiverse theory in the Discord. The Voyager could have gone to OG to scan the vault and maybe abduct something important from it. Yeah, bro is hiding at the moment. Hasn't revealed where he is. Unless he's popped out somewhere. Unless he's on the other side of the map where the other portal is. I have no idea. Why does the 0 point simply rift us now instead of doing the warm tunnel thing? Die. Money. Cost. Who's shooting at me? Whew. Let's go, chat. What? You can certainly subscribe during live streams. Oh, I feel like you should be able to. What? It's being called a universe theory is a joke. It's about multiple 0 points that somehow exist. Because that's just a thing nowadays, apparently, in a theory community. Just how the cookie crumbles. There's no way I'm the only person in range. There's apparently 16 people left. What's going on in this game? Yo, chat, let's go. I'm a subscriber now. Let's go, Dominic. Darby's in chat. Matt Shadow, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Oh. Oh. Oh my god, it's a Fortnite member. I'm dead. Never mind, I forgot I'm insane at this game. What happened there? Oh, never mind. It seems I've lost nose. Okay, we somehow live to fight another day in this game. Well, the visitor could still be our visitor. I mean, yay and nay. Wait, you can purchase XP. What in the loot station is going on here? No, not my Ice King! Oh. Oh, that's a chest. Wait, where's this person? Minecraft stream? Probably not. Unfortunately. Nice shot, thank you very much. Chat, thanks for the 9 likes. If you are enjoying the content, make sure to hit the like button. If you're on vertical streams, you should be able to double tap the screen. Ding, ding, ding. I like your skin. Yeah, it's one of the cube queen styles, which I don't have all of them actually. I did not unlock the level up the other one. Wrong way around. If I had 2 half parts anyway. Oh well. Well, that's annoying, is it not? Oh, no, can't get it. Oh, great. Oh, is there any point? What do I think will happen at the live event this season? The Dark Voyager will put the 0 point in the vault in OG. Somehow. which there won't be anything in the OG vault. I don't know. Oh no, that starts popping off soon. The whole key thing should happen in the next few days. Because the vault will get unearthed. So, okay, the vault gets unearthed first. That will happen the next few days. And then, literally, right afterwards, the keys will start moving around the map. Dark Voyager will summon Travis Scott. Ooh! Oh my god! There's no way the SMG does that much freaking bullets. Got to at least have enough time to pop a mini in between reloading an SMG, no? Okay, well, never mind. Check the Discord. New evidence for the universe. So the Dark Voyager needs an insane amount of power to forge the 0 point, right? I can already tell you the problem here. And if we can already foresee the problem if you're about to say what you're going to say. And it seems like he has all the shards, right? So why are the arrows still pointing towards OG? Well, my friends, it's because the Dark Voyager is going to power shit with the energy from the 0 point OG. I mean, it's not like they've done it before with bringing the energy from the end event forward, but I would argue, why don't you just take the 0 point as an OG if it's a different 0 point? He stopped at a gas station or a cube station. Can I have a... Can you refill my shit, please? Cubes just bickering to one another. The live event will either happen on Chapter 7 map or OG. I think it's a good opportunity to have them, you know, appear in both. If it's, you know, if that's the idea. We can't have an on-vault event as well as a 0 point that needs a vault somewhere. Too good of an opportunity to pass up, no? Oh, I've heard about 50 million things in Discord. I checked it out earlier and it was fine. I don't really know what's going on with your Switch players, that's all I'm gonna say. Like, what? No, but he doesn't need to take the 0 point to the other universe if he can just grab another 0 point, just have it there. Then you'll be arguing, well, he can't do that because he still wouldn't have the energy in that universe. Then you're self-containing the universe and there's just no need to be doing that. You might as well just keep it to 1 0 point, no? You're just losing emphasis on... Oh my god, bro. think as build up for the Chapter 7 Season 2 live event, every day Dark Voyager will take like a piece of 0 point and you build a new one in the vault. I don't think he can do that. I think he has to put the 0 point together first. Because the issue is, I think, you know the other 3 shards around the island? I think it works like a magnet now. So if you move anything, it will just disturb everything else. So that's why, you know, bringing the shards in all at the same time did help him. But then I feel like he's unable to move them by, you know, picking them up. Because they were sort of synced now with one another. You know, you move one in, the other one moves away. I don't really have any evidence to base that off. I'm just saying I feel like that'd probably be like the... you can't do that because of this scenario. I mean, we kind of did, to be fair, with Scribbly Shores. I don't know, it's a bit confused. I've said it the whole season. Like, so we're meant to presume that the Dark Voyager took a shard from the Scribbly Shores universe, but also we've got a POI with Scribbly and it looks like the similar lighthouse. So either they were 2 distinct realities that are exactly the same, or there were 2 shards in that one reality, which is also a possibility. That's not everything in existence, no, is it, Flu? Can you, like, post that timeline somewhere? Because I've had, like, 5 people go, I can't find this on Twitter. So I just want to check that out as well. So I've kind of forgot how they function. What are the power banks around the island? That's what I'm like half want to look into. Guys, thanks for the 11 likes. So, like, what happened to the Voyager Midas back in chapters? See, so I guess there's a few ways. Fortnite was just using it to tease the upcoming bigger vault that the Dark Voyager was putting together, which would be a weird way of teasing that. Or it's somehow just another rift. It's like a portal to access the same vault that the one in OG is. So, like, the vault door only acts as essentially like a massive door to access this place where it's somewhere in like a pocket dimension or something. So maybe there's like multiple of these doors to access one vault, but really I have no idea. What was the point of these again? Because they've got another junk. They're essentially junction boxes, so you can keep extending these. They were to track Havoc, wasn't he? I can't even remember what these were for, if I'm being honest. It kind of looks like how the whole power, not paradigm, singularity, the sort of power tilted, neo tilted. But I can't really remember what these were for. Track down Havoc. There's a whole thing that he needs additional power, which I presume he's using the particle accelerator for. Oh, so he's ciphering the energy. Somehow, which he uses the residual energy from the particle accelerator to then beam the 0 point again, which he did at the end of last season, which I guess he would need to do again at some point. But could he have not used these junction devices to tap off the shard energy? That would, to me, that seemed like the idea, because he's traveling in at least in 3 of the directions that the shards are sitting. So that seemed like, and he's sending 2 this direction. Also, sending random ones elsewhere, I don't really know. That's, I don't know. Post a timeline. I'll have a look. Kind of read the words. Other realities with 0 shards. Dark Voyager blocks the 0 shard from Elite Stronghold. Dark Voyager travels to save the world. We travel to Remix. We travel to Chapter 6. Yeah. Debut Bugle, yeah, that was another thing that happened, didn't it? Racing into Chapter 6. Chapter 3. Viking reality. Can't see what that is. Like it. I like the update. Very good. Chat, thanks for 11 likes. Camera's bugging. What do you mean? I think that every time that happened in OG Fortnite, like not the OG mode, but like the original one, it's still canon, even though Jones changed a few things in the past. That had little to no effect, because you've got to remember, everyone's like, "Oh, I wonder how Dr. Sloan will come back." We also have to consider that we've also ran into every single other character prior to the changes Jones made. Have any of them changed? Did the Imagine come back? No, still dead. Did any of the 7 come back? I mean, yes, they did. But I mean, did they come back somewhat change? No, the 7 who got chromes still got chromes. Didn't change anything currently. So why is everyone like, oh, Sloane will be completely different? The one character that will somehow be completely changed by the events of Jonesy would be very selective writing, I must say. That would be highly selective writing. Because no one else has changed. It would be far less confusing if the voice lines didn't suggest that the future would be out. Yeah, but it wasn't massive changes. But yeah, each one didn't change completely, but obviously, oh, would it be this me and that you? And it'd be crazy if it altered Sloane massively, but not the others. I mean, you could argue that Sloane had a bit more of an impact in Chapter 1 because Sloane would have been doing stuff for the Imagined Order, which could have affected her time a little bit more differently than the 7, shall we say. But then with the OG timeline, the mech wasn't there, so maybe Paradigms is changed as well. Maybe they're two characters who are affected more because obviously things didn't happen, maybe. I don't know, some form of a better sort of whatever you call it, that you don't even notice it. I have the other than Midas, I think. Yeah, I don't. A little weird. Yes, even. I had a Mega City Reload, Viking Desert, and other variant timelines from Chapter 3, Season 3 reality tree routes. Now we're acting like Rift Beacons, and I added more connections missed. Oh, fair. Fair enough. Yeah, but it didn't change anything in terms of Midas's personality, anything that happened with Jules. Like, Jonesy messing with the timeline hasn't affected a single character yet. And he kept everything pretty, you know, things still happened. Chapter 1 still ended, right? So I feel like you could probably change most things. If you still get to Chapter 2, which they would have done, then most things aren't changed, right? Sloane even said it. The mission was not to change the past. Midas was thingy to lose his hand. Yeah, but that's what we're saying. In Chapter 5, the Olympus variant of Midas had a prosthetic, I can never say that word, had a thingy arm, didn't he? So, but then in here, he somehow got it back. The question is it possible to act in the past without affecting timelines? No. Well, it depends how time. Again, if you had divergent timelines, which I guess some people would always argue, then you can keep the character intact. But obviously, as we know, that's the same Midas, so that is not the case. I can't agree with that because of Sloane's messages. I can't figure that, Ethan. I'm not, because Sloane was in that timeline with Jones. They were in that same timeline. I can somewhat agree that it was, you know, it was self-contained to whatever was going on there, but not further than that. Again, that's just a theory, Ethan. Look, I can't for definite lock that in because there is contradiction. Loading screens law that says chapter 4 was reality 0, but at the same time we had moved. Oh, God, that's because the loops are the one. Okay. Never mind. I'm waiting for Donald Mustard to see my diagram. I don't think he would even say anything. To be fair. But anyway, guys, thanks to the 11 likes. Appreciate it. Guys, if anyone does buy anything in the Fortnite item shop, please consider using creator code mrjayowhy, mrjayowhy. Type 1 in the chat if you can't use the code so I can thank you personally. I really hope Act 3 isn't stupid Overwatch. Thank you, Flu. Appreciated. Ethan, thank you very much. Ghost versus Shadow or Ice King versus Foundation, which season had two better deciding teams? I would have to say this, Ice King Foundation. I don't know. It's too far back to think of Ghost and Shadow, and I kind of... One, you didn't have dialogue. Two, you didn't have NPC dialogue. You didn't have... Say you're Spotify and you're multiple playlists. You listen to music on one, but you can't go back and forth on that playlist, but you can switch to another one to listen to music. Yeah, fair. I mean, it kind of did, to be fair. It meant that, you know what, I can't remember. It meant that, you know, the story went forward with Shadow, so. But I still think it would have been the same outcome, to be fair. It just would have been a different way around. I would say, no, it's Act 3 and Overwatch skin, Overwatch weapons, Overwatch POI similar to the... Oh yeah, and you know what now? Yes, there was a trailer, wasn't there, or a screenshot And it did look like something from Overwatch or something, someone was saying. I don't know how true that is. But yeah, I remember seeing something like that. You know, we asked a lot of questions here, questions that probably would never be considered, never mind answered, unfortunately. Yeah, there is that. Hey. Season 2 ends in 28 days. Damn. Gotta lock in. I don't know. So suppose Chapter 7 Season 2 live event is... Chapter 7 Season 2 live event is on the same level as Chapter 2 event. No, that's fair. Right, chat, I'm just going to go for a quick break. I'll be back in a second. Do you want to try this all new update on The Sims Life? That's what the music sounds like. We've updated the game to the best of our ability. You can now drop players in whenever you like. Battle Royale. The thumbnail, because I haven't changed the thumbnail for a while. That's the reason. Do. Chat, I think it was a 12 likes. Zero-point energy looks like it's getting more crazy. I think that Genesis Studio has a better storyline than the current Fortnite. As much as I will praise Genesis now, I feel like they did a lot of fan surface, which obviously is going to make people happy a lot, isn't it? But I feel like they could have directed it at some other points, maybe how it was told. But overall, yeah, it was excellent. Probably just focus more on maps, if I'm being honest. Probably like actually making games. I think that's them complete. I don't know, unless there's something else coming which they announced, I don't know. But I feel like they're probably just going to focus on actually building games. If I'm mistaken, they announced they're doing their, which I'm sure is still dated for like 2027, but they're making the game in a complete different platform, like a standalone game away from even Unreal. It's not Unreal, I forgot what the thing's called. I feel like they got a game launching soon, some sort of like team game, and you got to go in there and there's like a lift or something. I'm sure that was Genesis. So a couple of interesting things happening at Genesis. Yes. Hope you're well. Can I ask you something? Within reason. About my own Fortnite storyline, here's what I think the story should be. Hope and Jones forms a new 7, which is Hope, Jones, Daya, Midas, Drift. See, I feel like that's what they should have done. I feel like the 7 should have returned at some point. But I feel like there should have been a bit more of a core group. And that should have been operating in terms of Hope and Midas. I know that, sorry, Hope and Jones. I mean, yes. Obviously, they had the supernovas at one point, and maybe that could have been it, but they quickly just sidetracked that the first moment they had. But to have not organised anything, I don't know, maybe it was Jones' own inner monologue telling him that, oh, nothing will be better than the 7, I'm going to wait for them to return or something, but I don't know. Yes, Amy is very much the Oracle type of the team. By Oracle, I mean Batman's Oracle, not Fortnite's Oracle. Excuse me? What is this person's name? Probably almost instantly. I mean, Fortnite wants to do this gap thing with some seasons, like try and like, you know, the one with Jones where he looked like he's been in the bunker for years, but then they also then want to, when KO Fallen travels back in time, they use real life dates, so like the story's going on in dates. Obviously, then you had the message at the end of chapter 7. Sorry, I'll say it again. Chapter 6, you know, the whole simulation thing, and it's like that happened over 8 years, and that's also days. But then obviously loops played out to billions and billions of years. But yeah, so the loop has been going on since the game essentially started in like 8 years, which I feel like tanks them in what they can sometimes say and do. It's a bit limiting, really. But then say, imagine all the controllers live thousands of years. Well, no, see, I guess the IO loop and the last reality loop might actually be different, but if it means that it will control everything and manipulate behind the scenes, it does kind of convolute certain things, really. I have talked about this before. Let me just sign in. 0 point. You are my bounty. Why have you obeyed a cube? Trust the cube. Oh no, definitely Geno, guys. Definitely Geno. So here's what I think happened if... Oh, no, that's a different one, isn't it? I wonder it would not be Doctor Doom, but would be the main villain. No, I think the Wanderer did its job in being the, driving that narrative. I don't think Doctor Doom is a really interesting character in terms of Fortnite. I don't hate it. Chat, thanks for 12 likes. Do you think I'm cooking with my storyline? Also, Wanderer would be the safest man. Yeah, I'm sure it's the direction they could have took it in, but they didn't, unfortunately. Oh, that's our guy. Okay, what would be your reaction if one day you open the window and see a massive cube cradle from chapter 2 and you see the gold cube powering up? Well, that'd be GG's, mate, wouldn't it? That's what they do, Ultra, though. Okay, is that Jenna? It's Jenna. Anyway, guys, code Mr. Joyner Fortnite item shop mrjayowhy. Thank you to everyone using my code. I do appreciate it. Hashtag ad, hashtag partner. Thank you, thank you, thank. Please, please, please. Cameras. No. How are we doing, shirt? Also, the final season would be a mini season. It would be South Park. It would be South Park theme, and it would be based off the what? Well, that is South Park game. And look up. I'm not sure that will go down well. I don't know. Oh, jeez, Rick. I feel like people forget that Looper is one character and literally worked personally with the IO before part of the Resistance and the last reality, wasn't it? Did we not? Did the Looper not also do some stuff with the last reality? Did I just fall? Ah! Oh. Dropped 2 inches. Actually, that is a long way to fall, to be fair. Anyway. Also, the storyline is for my chapter 10 concept. Chapter 10! Holy. Oh, bro, he's like one shot! Oh my god, it's a bridge. Cool. Cool. Oh, set that, I suppose. Is that 2 over? No. Oh no, Team Ice are like 22 million in front of Team Foundation. Okay, my theory for the end of season event is that we will rift from the Chapter 7 map to OG map and we'll vault to the 0 point and those events will merge. And we'll go back to Chapter 7. Possibly. I mean, I would say that, I think. That was Bites, not the Looper, two distinct characters. What? I'm talking Chapter 7. I'm sorry, I'm talking Season 2, Chapter 7 activities. We definitely worked for the IO plus some jobs for the last reality. I'm not getting confused with Bites. You're not the one we're looking for. Where's... Still can't believe they made these air vent thing that was available the whole season a foundation perk. Oh, bro! Bro, I didn't even do anything! See, this is Team Foundation for you! See? See, Team Foundation! Shoot first, ask questions later. Disgraceful. Absolutely sickening. Team L Foundation, they should be called. A headcanon in the Dark Voyager Battle Pass quest as linked since Looper literally helped the Order escape in the same season. No, Chapter 2, Season 7. Do you think the next mini season will be a Marvel season like people were saying? We're not having a mini season for a while. I hope not anyway. Unless it's Chapter 3, then maybe. No, I wouldn't argue about that. No, I think that's just you, with her. That's just you, bro. Never mind. I think the rift above the elite bit is gone. What? What do you mean? Well, sometimes I accidentally hit someone's name and get super close to a block button. Might have to demod River. Bro's kind of scary. Oh my god, I just blocked Mr. Joe away from his own chat. Do you remember the Pandora's Box explosion event? Yeah. W's. It was a really good event. What happened to Pandora's Box? Ah, Doom socked it dry, essentially. I've been a member for like 6 months. I deserve the mod for real. Trust, I definitely won't ban people who diss the great Fooniverse theory. I appreciate you being a member, but that doesn't... Members and mods don't go hand in hand. Oh no, if you type F in chat... Yeah, I'm not talking about that. Oh. Forget about 0 point and everything else going on. Why are these seals like massive? Oh, why are they so big? Are they okay? What is going on there? One thing I would change about Chapter 7 Season 2 is keep the Coral Castle Queen POI, and that was in the Dark Voyager trailer instead of this. With all due respect, Food, they are round. Very cute, but you know. As I said to someone else, it's just near because I haven't changed the thumbnail. I mean, he popped. When does the vault get revealed? 3 days from the... Well, originally, it was 3 days from the excavators going around the... Which happened yesterday. So, Saturday? Ah, I'm getting beamed. I'm getting beamed. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. I got build. I got... There's no way! I hit him 3 times with the AR and it just only hit once, apparently. Chat, are you using code Mr. Joy in the Fortnite item shop? Thank you very much. Hashtag ad, hashtag partner. So Fortnite just double Transformers and doesn't count. I'm talking about the transformations from Chat 6. I checked the Rift. No, I did not. Ethan, thank you. All games, thank you. Appreciate it. Hashtag addition? Wait, what? Oh my god, guys. Oh my god. Talk about how you can Oh, that was a chapter 6 thing. And people started to hate that by the end of it, so that was not coming back. So, you know. There is that. Hashtag subtraction. What's the other one? Holy, I just realised all the English teams can win the European Cup this season. Holy. No, no one wins one in the end. Full sweep of European trophies would be insane. You seen about Spurs and West Ham? In what sense about Spurs and West Ham? You know, I've seen how close the relegation battle is, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about European football. We're talking Crystal Palace, Aston Villa, and Arsenal. I ever see one planet in the reality? I have no idea what that is. I mean, well, yeah, you know what? I have no idea what that is. Yeah, it would be nice to actually explore realities, but... Right, well, holy, what was that? I thought my stream died. What happened there? Holy! I think, did the stream die? The stream might have actually died. Because that was a hard lag, that was. Holy. Oh, well, never mind. There's so many things that no one talks about. That's stupid. The events don't happen in or outside of the loop. They happen kind of simultaneously, both in some extent. They definitely happen outside the loop. Well, it depends where the person is and what's occurring. So the Renegade Raider explains seeing the events play out from outside the loop. And one event we know that happened inside the loop, or at least would have been and would have been felt outside the loop, is Zero Crisis. What? No. To some extent. So there is an extra loop. You remember all your loot memories, but you still don't remember your memories prior to joining the loop. But the games don't loop anymore, you're just outside the loop. No, it isn't a much better situation, but it's, well, actually, it's probably worse, because when you're in the loop, you probably really don't know what's going on. So the first time you wake up in the morning, but you just feel it constantly the whole day. What? It's not that. Actually, no, Batman, how it was in Batman 0 Point, Batman was kind of like pretty conscious. He was doing sign language with Snake Eyes, and you know, was pretty conveyance in like a form of language, so you're kind of pretty aware. You just don't really remember what happened before. I'm gonna die. This is stupid. Well, they could have just been... What do you mean the storm doesn't exist? Why not even they've already survived the loop and they're out in the extra loop, and then the storm wouldn't exist? How come our loopers wasn't controlled when we collected the spy artifact? No idea. Sorry, what? 6-7. It's a conspiracy chat. Everything just hits for 6-7 nowadays. What? Oh, I'm bored. Chat, thanks for the 15 likes. Appreciated. Would I have an idea for when Loot Lake will be dogged up? Possibly Saturday. Since originally it took 3 days from the excavators coming around the island. Well, sorry, around Loot Lakes to then dig it up. So 3 days was originally what happened. So maybe Saturday, but I can't be too sure. I'm going out of zone. Chat, thanks for the 16 likes. Do appreciate the support on the stream. There's new clock Fortnite reshaping video. Oh, I might do some reacting after this actually. Would a Looper remember like 0 hour? No. Well, unless they're in the extra loop, then you would remember that. Aimbot. Where is he? Yeah, about where I got a Star Wars kind of season, so I'm dead. Oh well, it's been fun. Whew. You seriously just got no hills. Seriously, no heals? Med kits, anyone? Oh, half pot will do. I could spend a whole stream naming inconsistencies in Donald's story. Yeah, there's a few for sure. Oh my god. Oh, that would have been an unfortunate way to go. It's got to be a medkit, please. Oh. You ask and you shall receive. I remember during the Unvaulting event, the 0 point was huge. Yeah, it was a abnormal size, wasn't it? Oh my god, bro. Well, that's how the cookie crumbles. Okay, we're going to be reacting to...
ballistic.
Chill. We're going to be reacting to Clark Clint's video about... What was it? Fortnite storyline, reshaping everything. So, we're going to give that a little watch. Because, why not?
I like how...
Oh, let me just turn off my music. Because then just get double music. That's not good for anyone, is it, chat?
everything in the Fortnite storyline right now is connected. I saw a really dope...
What? What? What?
I like how everything in the Fortnite storyline right now is connected. I saw a really
I mean, it's been like that for a good year, no? Good year and maybe even two.
dope Twitter post from Winterfest King where he recommended that even the metaverse modes that are getting removed from Epic, he suggested that there should be a storyline explanation for them. So
I think we've said it on this channel before. I'm sure someone's mentioned it. That would have been pretty cool if the Dark Voyager went around to Ballista. We were saying that. Dark Voyager went to Ballista and just destroyed it. That would be kind of funny. But they didn't. They chickened out.
when they remove Rocket
They also sacked 1,000 employees.
Racing, Ballistic, all that, Festival Jam stage, there should be a storyline explanation that the Dark Voyager came in and wiped it all out. And who knows, Epic may do that, but this is what I find really interesting right now. There was a little teaser that came out earlier today where it showed basically there's going to be a rift. We're getting a mini event in OG and main BR, but there's going to be a rift that opens up in main BR, and it's going to peer into the Fortnite OG map.
When did he film this video? 10 months ago? Get on it, Clark! What?
The Dark Voyager ship is going to be over.
Am I watching the right video?
For the vault. This excites the hell out of me, and it's really because it's showing more of that synergy between main
Get in game then, Clark, and watch it.
BR and OG. The other thing I like about this is that OG is having such a significant, it's going to have such a significant impact in the storyline. And
why are people talking like, I said this about, I don't know who I was watching before, but they were talking about like, oh, it's going to have such a good impact in the story. I'm like, it is having the impact in the story. OG has for the last year. The visitor reality, the red butterfly, the sideways rift, that was like 7 months ago. It is having an impact on the story. Not it going to.
This is the thing that I find weird about it, right? When I'm paying attention to this, because it's like, okay, the Dark Voyager is going to be hovering over the 0 Point Vault. Clearly, I think the point of that is to take all the 0 Point shards and put them inside of the vault, right? But that's making me ask the question why. Like, why is the Dark Voyager going through all the trouble of putting the 0 Point shards inside of the vault? It feels like whatever they're doing in OG, even though it's not a one, like now, the storyline in OG.
Well, no, I would say that about this whole 0 Point Vault thing. Like, why would you not just started doing this? But obviously, the case in point would have been that the vault wasn't available, and for whatever reason, the Last Reality wanted the event still to play out the same because a stickler for similar events.
Is not a 1-for-1 in terms of how it was back in the old story, but it feels like the Dark Voyager, and maybe by extension the Last Reality, they're trying to, how do I say this? They're trying to make sure that the course of events that happens in OG stays consistent to how it was originally back when we played it in Chapter 1. The question that we've been asking on the channel for months, how are they going to explain like the 0 Point not being inside of the vault? But this seems like they're wrapping all that up. All the 0 Point shards that we have, they're going to be put together, and I'm assuming they're going to be put inside the vault. I think that was the purpose of him going around trying to find all the 0 Point shards in the first place.
I've just thought of it from another angle. So say if, for example, we are currently looking at it from the point of view that we're kind of Chapter 7 orientated, right? But look at it from the Chapter 6 point of view and the message. And it's like, we run the loop for 8 years, we run multiple encounter simulations, and the event needs to play out the same. For whatever reason, the Last Reality needs to keep this going, yeah? The cube goes onto the island, it rolls into a loot lake, it brings up a... But we already know, to be fair. Oh my god, why didn't I... Like, we've obviously talked about OG for a while being a duplicate reality or a divergent reality that existed after Big Bang or before Big Bang. And there have been multiple Athenas before. And Chapter 1, when we were in Chapter 1, wasn't the first time that Fortnite somehow done this. It has happened before. I feel like there's a couple of telltale signs. I feel like the 7 being encased in meteorites is always a bit of a weird one to make it seem like something happened prior. But one thing I did kind of forget, which is a massive point, is about Season X. I feel like now I'm saying it, I did mention this, but I feel like I need to drill it home a bit more in my head, is the other loot lake. That was another loot lake. That wasn't the same loot lake, had a complete different building. But that does clarify that, and that does confirm that events are happening on different maps. I'm sure I've talked about this before, but I haven't drilled it home enough. So we are having different Athenas, definitely. So Athenas. We have different Athenas. That's confirmed. Tilted Town and different realities. So, I mean, it's one thing we've said, but I've never re-attacked it from this angle. So basically, what I'm saying is, did the Last Reality kept doing this before, right? And they just needed a 0 Point. And they kept switching out. And, yes, the Imaginal thought they were in control, but that's very easy to manipulate, right? If you're pulling the strings. So that's what's happening here. Is they just got another island, and they needed 0 Point, and and the Last Reality was like, right, we need to get 0 Point now back together, and we need it in this vault now because we're playing out the same events that we played out 50 billion times before. But unfortunately, what ruins that is a whole 8 years thing on the stupid message. I feel like it condenses it and it constrays the story when it doesn't need to be like that.
And Loot was the one that actually kind of pointed that out to me. We had multiple conversations about that over the course of the last few months.
I feel like I was in this stream, so you might actually see my name. And of course, what do you mean loot?
As well, but that seemed to be like the only logical explanation. Even I was saying like a long time ago, like maybe it's just a single 0-point shard in there. But then the question in my mind is like, okay, well, when you get to the monster versus mech event, well, what's going to happen there? Are you just going to have the mech grab 1 0-point shard and get the power to destroy the monster? Like, how is that going to work?
What do you mean, how is it going to work? It's a 0 shard! You make it sound like a 0 point is only enough power to power the mech, alright? No, there's a minuscule clock, a shard of that big, was big enough to hold your hand, was powerful enough to bring down the imagined order. So a shard as big as someone's house is definitely going to have enough tangible power in it to bring down the Devourer. And while she's at it, the Cube Queen, the Cube King, Geno, and Dr. Slonal at the same time.
But now, if the purpose is to put the entire 0 point back inside the vault in OG, that makes sense. The thing is, though, how, like, once again, this is the question I keep asking myself. How the hell is this going to play out moving forward? Let me go over here real quick. Let's get a change of scenery. When we eventually get to seasons 9 and X, how close are we going to keep everything in terms of like live event wise? Because I know like right now we've got 3 more live events to go through. We've got the Unvaulting, we've got Monster vs. Mech, and we've got the Black Hole event. Those are like the last 3 main ones that we have. But when it comes to that Black Hole event, what are we gonna do? I'm still wondering if they're going to do like a Fortnite Chapter 2 OG kind of a thing. Like,
why do you go Chapter 2 now? They can do a Chapter 2, but come on, I'm sure I was in this stream now thinking, Chapter 1, Season 11, Season 12, Season 13, played out over course, like similar to OG.
That's the other thing that's on my mind. Like, what are we building up to and why? Like, what's the last reality?
Because I've talked about this before. You know the imagined perfection sort of thing, which you see in the Dark Voyagers, the Dark Dominion somewhere, right? That looks like the Dark Dominion with a very Chapter 1 vibe, doesn't it? I always think, when I saw that image, I was like, I could imagine, because we're going to have Neo Tilted, right? We're also going to have, I have to say a Tilted Town, but Neo Tilted is going to come at some point, and then Neo Tilted is actually after that, isn't it? But anyway, Neo Tilted is going to come, and you've got, obviously, the officers get put forward, and you've got watchtowers. Like, imagine at the Dark Dominion sort of building, but near at Loot Lake. And then we carry on and have a Season 11 and Season 12, and that will be like a mini-season / chapter thing. I feel like it's such a good opportunity. Come on, Fortnite, lock in!
Dark Voyager building up to. Also, there's this whole thing of like the Dark Voyager potentially being aligned with Geno. And I wasn't giving much credence to that theory for a while. But now I'm honestly, I'm starting to look at it a little different because of that rap that we got. But then somebody pointed out to me that the runes on the Geno rap are not, they're not like cube runes. They're not last reality runes. They're actually like, I think, Oathbound runes. So I don't know. It's just, there's like all these little plot points that are being pulled up right now, and I'm just really curious as to like where they're gonna take.
Well, yeah, because it was part of Lexa and Orange set, who are Prince and Princess of the Oathbound.
Okay, but let me read some of what you guys are saying in chat. I've been ignoring y'all for a little bit. Where y'all think, like, I guess I'm gonna ask y'all this, like, where do you think the story's going right now? Like, what is the, like, let's ask this question. What is the purpose of the Dark Voyager and the Last Reality putting the 0 point back in OG? Like, why does it need to be there? And I guess I answered my own question earlier by saying maybe it's because they're trying to maintain the integrity of those events in that timeline, but why? Why is it so important for all of those events to happen in the same way so they can finally stabilize their reality? Avro, how did we come to the conclusion that the Last Reality is unstable? But that's an interesting theory, right? That the reason why they want the 0 point is to stabilize their reality. But if that's the case,
that's not the case because they've already had the 0 point. Again, I think I phased out. I was watching this stream live. I think I phased out because I was like, you're forgetting 2 big points. You're forgetting the message at the start of the chapter, which implies they had surveillance and controls since day dot. So anything that happens, they like it to kind of, keep occurring the same as it is. But I think Season X confirms one, multiple Athenas playing at the same time, and multiple test grounds for the last reality to operate in. Right? I feel like that's what I'm leading to at the moment. So we have multiple opportunities for the last reality to keep playing out the same thing, and it just so happens that Chapter 2 completely threw them of this. That's why. Oh my god, I'm not recording. I thought it'd be that video. I might have to just re-record this end bit just so I got reference for when I do it. But that's why we had the deleted scene. I know it's not canon, but then them taking the 0 point actually makes so much more sense. And maybe that's why they deleted it, because you wouldn't think of it like that, because you didn't have the answers that you would have 4 years on. Is that they wanted a 0 point to then just replay the events again, because there is only one 0 point. So they needed that 0 point to replay the events again, but they didn't. And then Paradise, the 0 point ran. In the delete scene, it bolted. It went, no. I'm not a thing here. I am gone. Obviously, in the actual events, it just phased out and shifted positions in reality 0, or changed reality. So, obviously, they kept hunting for it. So that's what the last reality is just doing? Just getting other Athena. But again, what would be the end goal is maybe what Afro said here. I feel like it actually works. I might have to. It doesn't need to be 0 point to go to the in-between. I've already stated this. Yes, I get what you're saying. There isn't a shard there. A categorically not the case. But what I would argue is that, one, there doesn't need to be it's an in-between. So it's a dimension that is in the 0 point, that is thingy that can and maybe be accessed at any point in reality, and doesn't necessarily need a direct 0 point to be able to do that. Every reality is subsequently tied to the 0 point. So Ethan got to a good point, as the butterfly brought us there and brought us back essentially, and we re-rifted over the island. Yes, the 0 point was in a bit more of a closer proximity, but I wouldn't argue that is inaccessible without the 0 point being near. Did the cube bring it? So how did because that was underneath the vault. So you could argue that's why the cube was able to go to the in-between, because maybe they can somehow exist on that plane of existence, right? Because the cube so the cube must have took us originally, but it just didn't travel into the in-between for whatever reason. But the second time around, it was able to import us into the in-between. Because in between, it could be in between reality, in between obviously how the yes, I do. I'm obviously well aware of how the 0 point functions in terms of its in between. Seems like it's the center point of its mass, and you're actually inside the 0 point. But that could be accessible from any point and be grabbed if it's full, if it's in danger. It's like somehow semi-sentient now. I don't know. Unless the cubes and last reality is somehow able to manufacture this, I have no idea. but I don't think that confirms the existence of 2 0 points. Yeah, okay, that's a bit more of a, but then again, that was in the vault. The vault should be a containment field for the 0 point. How if it can get through the vault, it can get across half of the Armyverse if it really wanted to. Oh, were you? Fair enough, Trooper.
That begs the question, why is the reality unstable to begin with? That would give them a motivation for wanting the 0 point. That would. Like, OG might be reality unknown, the reality that nothing wanted to make. But why? But here's the thing, and this is what's weird about reality unknown. Why does it seem to be a copy of reality 0? Like, what's the point of that? I think Dark Voyager is leading up to the general showing up. I theorize the scientist is the general, so maybe the general has a plan with the 0 point. Right, but Smog, like, that just kind of kicks the can down the road. Like, what's the plan? Like, what's the purpose for the whole thing? And that's what I don't know. I don't see exactly what they're trying to build towards. I feel like the only thing, how do I say this? I feel like the only thing that would make this story more interesting and would make it make more sense is if somehow we don't, like, if we do a black hole event for the 3rd time. I feel like that's, oh no, it'd be the 4th time, wouldn't it? It'd be our 4th black hole event, right? Or am I tripping? Maybe it would be the 3rd time, 3rd or 4th. But like, if we do it again,
It's definitely in at this point. And at 4, Big Bang, End Event, Galactus, Chapter 6.
like that's just so damn.
I think there's even a 5 on.
I feel like it would be more interesting if somehow we stop the black hole. Here's another thing too. We've got a lot of old players from the OG storyline coming back, like just returning to the story overall. We've got the 7, we've got the Ice King, and then there's like little teases of the Imagined Order popping up. I think Dr. Slone's coming either at the end of this season or next season. I think Zeno's going to be coming next season, if not by season 4. It feels like there's just so, and it's been like this since the start of the chapter, right? But there's just so many little teases that Zeno is coming back.
Rapid, how's it going?
Everybody's saying that the Ageless is going to be the one that we see, but I honestly think that we're going to see Big Daddy Zeno pop up and make an appearance in the storyline. Afro, not gonna lie, it would be funny if the General was like a perfect Cell type of character. It took the abilities and attributes of the Scientist, Origin, and Visitor. Oh, like if they merge all the corrupted 7 together, that would be interesting. If they merge all the Chrome 7 guys together, make a new guy, and he just starts beating everybody's ass, that would be kind of neat, actually.
I presume he was kind of thinking Metalio, no? I don't know.
I wouldn't hate that. That would be a. That would. Oh, that.
Oh, and yes, he is cool. Yeah, okay, maybe he is.
It'd be kind of dark too, because it's like like not only did you reshape their minds, but you're merging all 3 of their minds together into some kind of new, like, fused being between the Origin. But see, the only problem with that is I feel like that takes away the potential of the Origin himself. Like, I feel like the Origin should be his own character. Like, they should make him the Cube King again. Like, oh, hold on a second. I just thought of something. Okay, there's 2 ways I can see things going, right? What if they do make it to where we get, like, a Chapter 2 OG? But when we get to the point where the Cube Queen pops up, instead of the Cube Queen, it's the Origin as the Cube King. I could see them.
That's so long-winded, though, no? That's like, that's 2 years away. Because if we're playing, I mean, let's say shorten Chapter 2. I mean, this has been not quite 2 years, is it? But I feel, how long has OG been going? Like a year and a half now, right? So yeah, it's gonna be like another 2 years. Let's not do that.
Doing that, or I could see them going the route where we stopped the black hole event because, like I said, you've got too many people that remember the old storyline and the old series of events. So you've got Jonesy, the remaining members of the Seven, potentially the Imagined Order, the Ice King, and it's like I feel like even with this season, like I know like the whole team is showdown and everything, but I really do feel like by the end of this, the Ice King and the Foundation are gonna put their grievances to the side and fight off the Dark Voyager, because it's obviously like that's the bigger threat. He's clearly pulling the strings in the shadows. Like even the imagery for the season, like you see that all throughout it. But I feel like if once everybody wakes up, it's like, hold on, wait, why are we fighting each other when the Dark Voyager's right there? And he like, bro is actively moving 0-point shards all around the map, and everybody's just ignoring it. It doesn't make any sense. And then there's going to be that giant rift in the middle of the sky showing the OG island. So you mean to tell me like Jonesy and the Foundation and the Ice King, they're all going to see that sitting there, and they're going to be like, that's not important right now. Let's fight each other instead. They have the characters, they have to address that, bro. They have to like recognize the fact that like that's a problem. Like, why are we seeing our old reality where we fought so many times? Why are we seeing that there in the middle of the sky? Like, I feel like we should be seeing these characters in Chapter 7 going over to the OG map and trying to stop the events that led to all this crap. They have to play into that. Yeah, but Justice proven he's useless at acting on anything. Bro, watch the Voyager and let him do his thing. Yeah, but Rush, that could also be the case that Jonesy didn't have the resources to fight the Voyager. Like, there's no point. Like, why send yourself in a suicide mission to go fight the Dark Voyager if you know you're not going to win? Like, I think Jonesy's thing was like, okay, I don't like what the Dark Voyager is doing, but we need to call the Seven now. And that was kind of the plot of last season. Like there was a reason why he was working to get the Order out of prison, and then working with her to get the members of the Seven, and now he's working alongside the Foundation again, right? But the issue is this little. It's kind of like Chapter 2, Season 2, with Midas and the war that he started to distract the Imagined Order. This war between the Ice King and the Seven are being used to distract us from what's happening on the island. The only issue I have is how is everybody just so oblivious to everything that's going on? Like, it almost feels like a plot hole. I know it's not a plot hole, but it almost feels like a plot hole with how like no one's saying like, hey, bro, for the greater good. Like, I know we
what's
don't.
happening? This is short in a minute. But that's just it's to prolong the plot. That's just how TV shows and films work. The most obvious thing sometimes isn't, because they need to thingy the plot along.
Like each other, but like the thing that's literally holding all of reality together is being put back together, and it's not by either one of our sides. So what are we doing here? It doesn't make sense. I don't know. Jones said it was smarter just to what did it say? Just to wait till they had backup. See that? Okay, so like I said, that I was right. But that made, from a narrative perspective, that makes sense, because Jones he didn't have the resources, bro. Now you're kind of right. Like, why isn't everyone coming together to fight off the Voyager? Like, once again, I think that's gonna happen. Once again, they have to do.
Well, at this point, it's still a little pragmatic in terms of the Ice King is some form of a threat to some degree, as well as the Dark Voyager. So you got to still sort out the problems that is still ahead of you. As much as I do understand, yeah, it's still a bit weird, but at the same time, yeah.
Something fun for this season to kind of, get the communities to go back and forth against each other. I love this. I love this theme. But here's the thing. Fortnite...
Now, this is still recording out. Well, how long is he taking to get this video out?
Plays with... How do I say this? Fortnite plays with cinematic timing quite a bit. Like, this... Act 1 might be like a month long for all of us, But in Fortnite universe time, all of these events that have taken place might have only been a couple of days, or maybe.
Yeah, again, it's this argument of like, oh, it only happens over a few days. Oh. But then Fortnite wouldn't use real life dates when talk about time travel and talk about anything else.
Even a 1 day or a few hours, right? Like, it doesn't. I'll give you an example of that. Attack on Titan, the first 2 seasons of Attack on Titan literally take place over the course of like 48 hours. Most of the events. Everything, like.
Okay, spoilers.
Everything from the second time the Colossal Titan attacks
whoa!
After they fight the Beast Titan, that alone is I think like a 24-hour window, 24 to 48-hour window. So you can have a lot of events happening in a short amount of time in universe, but once again for us, it feels like, oh my gosh, like why is everybody taking so long to act on this? When in actuality, like it's only a day. So we don't know. We gotta play it by ear. And Fortnite is never like they don't really give us an idea of how much time is actually passing. Like they kind of play that fast and loose, you know what I mean? But what a spoiler. Shut up, okay? Clark, when we have Chapter 3 OG, we can have the Imagine Wendy's collab. Oh, bro, okay. They better get me to sponsor.
Oh, yeah, I am here. I knew I was in that at some point in this conversation. This was so long ago. This was like a month ago.
Time machine. What about a time machine, Mr. JOY? Egg Access Spicy. What's up? I feel like.
Oh my god! I actually think. Do I comment here?
Like for both chapter ending event, the Dark Voyager is going to try and infuse the 2 0 points. Is going to cause some type of black hole or something. There aren't 2 0 points. It's just 1 0 point.
Oh my god! Even he's getting it. Even he's getting it. Oh, it's just never ending. I don't know why it's taking him a month to like get the. No idea.
That's the thing. It's not about fusing 2 0 points. There's not more than 1 0 point. It's just 1 0 point that is being rebuilt and putting in the OG. I don't know. The only thing that sucks is that like I'm kind of sad that my theory about like OG being like in the past and us being like one big time loop, that's pretty much disproven at this point. It just seems like it's a parallel dimension created after the Big Bang, which we got hints of that. Through things like Remix and of course like all the other metaverse modes and stuff that we have in the game, right? And that's fine, but I think it's just like I feel like the Fortnite storyline is getting to a point where we really got to start getting some clarification on what the hell is actually happening. Like we really need we need the characters to recognize and address like, oh, the Dark Voyager's moving these 0 point shards, and that's kind of weird, and I don't like that. And man, I remember what Geno told us before we killed him off, and then Geno pops back up, was like, ha ha, psych, I'm not dead though. Like, joke's on you. And then like the Imagine pops off from behind him, like, yo, I'm with my.
If I uploaded, by the way, if I uploaded a video from a month ago, I think people would lose their mind. Also, if I only uploaded a video from a month ago every month, the channel would be so dead.
Dead. We made up. We're chilling. You know what else is crazy too? There's one thing I just realized that the storyline could do. So it's confirmed that the Imagine's dead, right? But we know that there are 2 snapshots of the sisters. There's one for the Imagine, one for the Order. What if both of those snapshots pop back up, or maybe the Imagine snapshot pops back up and our Order has to like fight or try to reconcile with some twisted version of her sister? That could be a really cool and a really interesting plot point that Fortnite does with the storyline, because that like we never saw those snapshots. We don't know what happened to them or what. We don't know what they look like. Nothing. We just know that Geno replaced his daughters with them. So it's just kind of like, what are we?
I guess. But at this point, I'm probably not.
what could you do with that? Like, there's a lot narratively that could be done to make it really interesting. You could even, bro, you could even have it to where one of the snapshots, the Order's snapshot, kidnaps her and then takes her suit and replaces her and like infiltrates the Seven as a spy. That would be, oh my god, that'd be so interesting. And like we know it, but the Seven don't know it. Oh man, that would be, bro. Yo, Epic, Epic needs to contact me and let me write the story, bro. They gotta stop playing with me. Those snapshots could be a part of the elites. Yeah, they absolutely could be. Once again, for the 875th time this month, I really hope that the elites are just Geno's Ginyu Force. I want them to be his killers, bro.
Yeah, but, I did believe that at the start, but the more we learn about the elites, the more I feel like they break away from the set point is to not be the imagined order. Like Zadie and stuff, and what she's done before wouldn't make no sense to be Geno's paving.
Be Geno's answer to the Seven. Be like, you know what?
Unfortunately,
y'all got on my nerves. I'm kind of tired of you. I'm gonna make a squad of killers to take y'all out. GG's, and it's like that. That would be the real. I don't know. That'd be the really interesting play. Dude, that would be wild. Those snapshots could. Hang on a second. Should be a part of the. Oh yeah. Yeah, they were the superior. That's the thing. They were superior to the sisters. So why not, like, bro, play with it? And then that gives you an excuse to give the Imagined a new skin and another version of the Order, or maybe one of those edit. That's the other thing too, right? Maybe one of these edit styles of the Order that we have are already like maybe this is the snapshot. They could legitimately write that. This style. This could 100% be a snap.
I don't get why he mentions it here, because that could work for any alternate version, variant of any of the Seven from any other reality, and they all just look the same and act the same, and not one of them has a different suit. I mean, some realities good, but the chances are you're going to have two that have exactly the same suit.
Snapshot Order, but and working for the Imagined Order. If it's even got the right colors for it, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what they end up doing, but I think that'd be so much fun if they went that route. Yeah, if only the Imagined Order had like a subgroup that goes around shorting stuff out. Wait, what? Wasn't the sarcasm, Jay?
I was still in this. It's basically he ironically explained the Enforcers. I was like, oh, imagine I had a team that goes around with. I'm like, that's the Enforcers, bro.
Well, I missed it over here. All the top warriors in arena.
This was so long ago, by the way. This was like a month ago. Clark
become part of the New Order. Oh my god, storyline.
Get an
that's
editor,
the
bro.
other thing too, right? So, and this kind of goes back on that theming that we've had of everything kind of being connected, right?
What are we talking about? Timelines aren't confusing. They diverge when someone time travels. That is only dependent if you're using a specific timeline rule. If you're using a grandfather paradox, that is not the case. If you're using another paradox, that also won't be the case. But you're right, but we don't know what cases Fortnite is working to. A new timeline could spring from the 0 point right now. What would be the issue with that? I mean, everything's divergent from the 0 point. Literally every single reality is connected to the 0 point. That wouldn't be the case if you had divergent timelines, would it? It would be connected to the reality and then to the 0 point. If you think of it as a connected sphere, but if you think of it as, I guess, what do you call it? I guess like a tesseract, then maybe you still would be connected, but
right now. So the new arenas mode.
Well, the timeline could still diverge if it changed and then diverge back at the end. I guess you could still do that, but
what I do like about it is that it does tie into the current storyline, because this is we know this is a training ground or a testing ground for the elites, right? Like they're using this it's a recruitment strategy. They're using the best warriors from this reality, or from these games,
or the hunters. That's also
to be recruited into.
So there's me on my own forces, bro.
And
or
then
hunters.
Reload, who knows what ends up happening? But Jules, for example, is one of the elites. And once again, Zadie, we know that she used to run things for the Imagined Order. She used to do damage control for the Imagined Order. it's so dope how that's connected. I like how that's connected. But then again, how do like the elites are another faction, right? How do the elites feel about everything that the Dark Voyager's doing? Also, how much if Zadie was the one that was kind of she was the one in control of crisis management over at the Imagine Order headquarters. She has to know about the Seven. She has to know about the Last Reality. So, how is she looking at all of this stuff that's going on? Like, how is she feeling about a giant Last Reality ship with a cube in the middle of it coming to the Reload reality? Jules jumping on the ship and trying to blow. Like, what are we doing here? And then also, I find it weird. Like, so Jules is working with the Seven. But we know that she's allied with the elites. So is Jules kind of like, is she trying to get intel on the Seven for the elites for some kind of grander plan? I really think the elites are going to play a bigger role than what's being teased right now. I really do.
I guess
I really feel like the elites are they're going to be a big part of the story. Also, I want to point this out too. This is what I love about the storyline right now. Outside of course, everything being interconnected. But I love how, unlike in Chapter 4, every faction that we have now has meaning. The Ice King, the elites, the Seven, Jonesy and Hope, which I guess they're extension of the Seven, and then the Dark Voyager, and then his master, which once again, I'm still thinking it's the Nothing in the Last Reality. I don't think it's Geno. I really think, like, if they make it to where the Dark Voyager is working for Geno, that would be the corniest, and like I feel like it'd just be a very bad.
No, solid. That's so. I would hate it as well. 100%. Awful idea.
The Dark Voyager does a heel turn, and like he was never truly aligned with Geno. He was just manipulating Geno because his true master is the Nothing, and like it's just, I feel like it's just an extra step that's not necessary. Keep Geno off to the side. Have Geno basically rebuild the Imagine Order, but through the elites. I feel like that's the better way to go with that story. And
again, he did film this a month ago, but even then I was sort of, I don't know. I was in a heel turn on my own, saying I don't think the elites are, because of the whole Zadie's point, and they are former employees, and they're sort of, even Jules has gone against Midas and gone against, I guess, Shadow and the IO.
Everybody's goals separate.
Actually, to be fair, Jules still worked for the Oath, but even then, Jules even betrayed Aegis, no? So, unlikely.
I think it muddies the waters if you start having the Dark Voyager align himself with Geno. But like I said, the only thing that's making me think that might be a possibility is that rap that we got. But then again, as someone, I think it was Afro pointed out to me, those rooms that we saw in that rap are not cube rooms. So, Retro was mad on his ult because people won't agree that Geno is the. Wait, hold on. Retro thinks that Geno is the Nothing?
All right, we talked about what the hell. Oh, it's me. Anyway, guys. That's me done for the day. I'm tired. I need to call it. So, guys, if you do buy anything in the Fortnite item shop, please consider using creator code mrjayowhy in the Fortnite item shop. #hashtag every partner. Thank you to everyone using my code. I do appreciate it. It helps support the channel. Also, if you are in the Discord, you would have seen I'm considering changing how the memberships work. They need to be restructured, maybe entirely. Where the Dark Voyager is? No idea. He's off worlds. He's not on any. He's not in any. Unless he's in like a really secret mode that no one knows about. Possibly Rapid Snipes. Possibly. I never like games where you have to download them from a web. Web games always worry me. It's very... What? Arsenal? You mean like the Gooners? Like Arsenal? Champions League final? Why isn't it? What? Anyway, do buy anything in the Fortnite item shop. Consider using creator code mrjayowhy. Thank you. Can I add you? If I accept you, I add you at some point, I suppose. Oh, there you are. Don't know, my friend list is Phil. Oh, I don't know. Apparently not. Oh, now it is. Anyway, guys, until next time, thanks for watching. As been your boy, mrjayowhy. Till next time.